y'all hear me say like that's like my stepbrother, that's because his mom, we all call her Mama Frida, her, me, my siblings, everybody. My dad is like his dad. All right, bro, so I ain't gonna lie, bro. First off, I never thought I'd be kind of in a situation where I'm interviewing myself, but it's so many narratives, so many people spreading information that I kind of felt like I had to do this, like I needed to do this because stuff spread like wildfire on the internet. I'ma just say that stuff spread like wildfire on the internet. So the goal of this video is to kind of set the record straight on a lot of the narratives that I'm seeing out there online. Now, the reason I have this is because this is how I met Chuckie, right here, basketball. Like a lot of people our age, in the age range we are, that's what we did when we was young, bro. We was playing basketball. So this is why I'm holding a basketball, but it's also kind of something to fidget with while I'm talking, because this is something that's hard to talk about for me. So I'm gonna start first off by sending strength to Shaman, bro. I had the opportunity to meet Shaman, and I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna break down everything from the beginning as far as my relationship with Chuckie and how I know him and how I'm involved in the whole Hood Fame story and stuff like that. But Shaman is strong, bro. Shaman is strong. Shaman got a real strong spirit, and she can't be easily broken. But naturally, I understand something like this could challenge that. So that's number one. I want to send my love to Shaman, my prayers, bro. Like I said in my interview with Half Pint, talking about Shaman, that Shaman really protected me in an environment where, you know, I'm out of place, because I'm a certain type of person, and I'm around other type of people, and she's realizing and seeing that, okay, you could get taken advantage of if you could get taken advantage of. I'm gonna just say that. But first off, I'm sending love to Shaman. Second of all, to Yanni. Yanni is his oldest daughter. I got the opportunity to actually be somewhat of an uncle to her, because when she was born, this is when I was around the most. You see what I'm saying? But we're gonna get into all of that. But the very first narrative that I want to debunk, there's an old goofy on the internet, and I know none of y'all know him, but he said that it happened because of some sort of gambling debt. Now, this one thing I'm gonna tell y'all off the rip, I'm not gonna get on this camera and act like I know everything, because I don't. The reality is, right now, don't nobody really know what happened. I just know what didn't happen, and that's a combination of knowing him, knowing the landscape of Fort Worth, knowing and having common sense, honestly. So he claims that bro was unalived because of a gambling debt, and I'm just here to tell y'all that is not true at all. The type of gambling that they do, and in the comments or wherever you see this, tell me if I'm wrong, but the type of gambling they do, you can't build up a debt, okay? So you either hit you or I didn't. You won my money or I won your money. Now, what would make sense, or what would be more logical, is that, oh, he broke this person on a game and this person wanted their money back. That's more logical, honestly, but there's no logical narratives that's floating right now. There's not no logical narratives that's floating, and that's why I'm here, because the people closest to him right now are obviously not in a position to speak. And the ones that are speaking are probably on some other type of time, which is understandable. But I'm just trying to be a voice of reason and logic. So that's number one. The gambling debt is stupid, bro. Like that's dumb. So the one that's getting ran off with the most, the next narrative that's getting ran off with, is the fact that this was the cartel, right? And this is the one that people believe. And when I first heard it, I'm sitting there and I'm like, what? Like, people's imagination is crazy. But then I remember Twisted Black, shout out Twisted Black. Twisted Black has a freestyle, And in this freestyle, he pretty much says Yayo was famous in the hood, so he called his clique Hood Fame. Lil Ronnie and Coon Pappy, something else, man. Okay, so people are taking that and saying Twisted Black laid it out. It was that. So I'm gonna just give y'all some. This is where you use your common sense. Okay, so Twisted Black, once again, Twisted Black. Shout out Twisted Black. He been home for a little bit, but he just got out the feds, right? He just got out the feds. So you telling me that somebody who just got out the feds would come home and then pretty much broadcast the fact that Yayo ran off on the cartel? If you believe that happened in real life, something's wrong with you. Forget what happened yesterday. Okay, cool. I got some beachfront property in Alaska to sell you if you believe that Yayo ran off on the cartel. That's number one. But aside from that, people on the internet are saying that pretty much Chuckie, which for y'all who are outside the city of Fort Worth, that's his nickname. That's what people call him. There's only one Chuckie in the city of Fort Worth, and that's what people call him, Chuckie. So people are saying that Chuckie was his life and his daughter's life was taken yesterday because Yayo, or because I've seen stuff that said he ran off, Yayo ran off. Either way, that's pure nonsense. I'm actually somebody who spent some time interested in cartel life, right? Interested in the cartel, studying everything around it. And I'm here to tell you that if that were true, it wouldn't be common knowledge. That's number one. And number two, he wouldn't have lasted as long. And number three, they would not have hired a couple of black men in Fort Worth, Texas to go ahead and carry out that hit. That's not how it works. That's not how the cartel does business. I'm not telling you as somebody who knows the cartel. This is just somebody who studied it, who also has common sense, bro. So that's another thing. That's another narrative that just kind of is bad. So I've heard somebody say like, oh, well, because I've made the mistake of going back and forth with people online about this, and what they saying is like, yo, Twisted Black, because I'm pretty much telling you, y'all believe that Twisted Black is telling a real story. No, what Twisted Black is doing is being a great storyteller. Now, the thing about stories that's exactly what they are, stories. I'm not gonna call it a lie, because people are like, so you saying Twisted Black is lying? No, he's a rapper. He's telling stories. So yeah, what I was saying was the situation might be real, but he placed those names in there. So on that freestyle, he listed all rappers. Okay, so that's off the bat should tell you that the stuff that he's saying in here is all entertainment. It's all entertainment. I don't believe for 2 seconds that Yayo or anybody in Hood Fame has ran off on the cartel. This is what y'all gotta understand too. Yayo been in jail for a long time, like not even this stint before this last stint. He's been walking prison yards, okay? And he might not have made it out of prison if he really ran off on the cartel. So that's just kind of a narrative, and I'm gonna think of narratives. I'm gonna bring them up as I think of them. But now I want to talk about just the history, right? The history. First of all, like I said, this right here is how a lot of people originally met Chuckie. Chuckie had braids, right? And back in this time, Allen Iverson was what LeBron James is now. Allen Iverson was the biggest, most popular, most influential basketball player in the world. And that's who he reminded me of. And that's because Chuckie's handles was crazy. Like, for us to be that age, bro could handle the ball so well, like between the leg stuff, all type of crossovers, bro. Chuckie had a bag, bro. That's one thing that a lot of people might not know. Chuckie's bag was crazy, like as far as moves that he could do on the basketball court. Chuckie was nice. So I'm from Forest Hill. If you look on a map, Forest Hill, you got Forest Hill Drive, you got Wichita, you got Campus, then you got Oak Grove. So that's really 2-3 exits. My family's from my family lives in Highland Hills. My granny lives in Highland Hills, but not even just my granny. Shout out a dude who was raised pretty much just like my cousin. His name is Chris Flanori. If you from Highland Hills, you know Chris. His grandma used to keep us, and so I was in Highland Hills a lot, to the point to where by the time I get to middle school, me and Chris are in middle school together, and I'm going to spend the night over there. Sometimes in the summer, spending weeks or a week at a time over there with Chris in Highland Hills. So this is when, boom, I'm meeting Chuckie and I know Chuckie. Okay, cool. So high school comes, my mom pretty much, and it give me chills because it's just kind of, it's symbolic right now. But my mom, we live in Forest Hill, but my mom made the decision not to send me to ODY, which is where I'm supposed to go. I'm supposed to go to ODY, but she's like, you know what? You're going to a school on the southwest side, because at this time we still believe that the southwest side is a good part of town. So the address we use is a lady from church, and I'm thinking that the whole southwest side is Crowley. So I'm thinking this address is going to land me at North Crowley. I'm going to play basketball for North Crowley, and then I find out, no, this address is South Hills. So I end up going to South Hills, but that's neither here nor there. So I said all that to say we kind of lost contact, or not lost contact, but I didn't see them no more. Like, I didn't see people from Forest Hill, Highland Hills, because that's who goes to OD Wyatt. And Chuckie, I don't think ever went to Wyatt, but that's his circle. That's his area. From what I know from him himself, he ended up bouncing around, going to several different schools. But OD Wyatt is like the I would say the core people, you know what I'm saying, that grew up with him. So that's, once again, the South Side, Forest Hill, Highland Hills, Echo Heights, parts of Eastwood, like all those people went to Wyatt. So anyway, I lose contact with everybody because now I'm going to school, even though I still live in Forest Hill. Unless you live on my block, I don't see you anymore. So I'm kind of now moving around on the southwest side during the high school years. That's where I want to be, though, because this is where I go to high school over here. This is where all my friends are. I'm playing basketball. We got basketball practice over here. So southwest side is kind of like what we, where I was. So boom, transition out of high school. At this point, this is 08, in Fort Worth, we're a gang infested city. But by the time that I get to becoming 17, 18, we don't necessarily have Crip and Blood gangs anymore. I mean, we got gangs that are Crip, or we don't got gangs, we got cliques. And now you got cliques that are primarily Crip, primarily Blood. You got some that are mixed, but it's cliques. So now I'm kind of knowing about DSG, and I'm not sure if Chuckie was ever officially DSG, but that's who he moved around with, right? Because throughout high school, I met one of his close partners, Chris Cross, who I believe is Ook, which is one of Chuckie close, like day one partners, which is his kinfolk or whatnot, I believe. Chris Cross, who's in the feds right now, Free Cross, when he comes to South Hills, we lock in. That's my boy. So then we get to talking. Oh, you know him. You know this person. Yeah, well, bro, I'm really from over here. Oh, okay. So that means you know all these people. Okay, we cool. So anyway, I'm like, oh, okay, Chuckie moved. He's with DSG. Whether he's DSG or not, that's the circle he's in. So boom, that's cool. But mind you, there's really not much social media at the time. What it is MySpace, right? So boom, MySpace pop up. Now, around this time, we got people that's famous on MySpace. Kendrick the Superstar, Flash, shout out my boy Flash, man. I know Flash taking it pretty hard. And then there's a guy named Lil Ronnie, right? Who's kind of in that circle. Now, mind you, it's been years since I've seen him, and Chuckie when I last seen him, he was small. Like I said, when I tell you he remind me of Allen Iverson, bro, he did. Not necessarily looking like him, but he had braids like Iverson, and he played like Allen Iverson. So Chuckie was small when I last seen him. But there's this dude on Facebook that kind of that's with Flash and him. I mean, on MySpace, sorry. And his name is Get Money Lil Ronnie. And I'm looking at him, I look at his page and I'm like, bro, this dude looks very familiar. He looks very familiar. But Chuckie looks completely different at this point. He looked different. Like, you know, at that point of our life, we starting to grow facial hair. He's not a small guy anymore, pretty much. He's not short, skinny, none of that. He kind of got, you know, a little build, you know what I'm saying? He don't got braids. He got shag or just a fade or a bald fade. Actually had a bald fade. And so I'm like, damn, bro, this little, like, is this Chuckie? Cause then I start thinking, man, whatever happened to Chuckie? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this Chuckie? So long story short, MySpace era kind of goes and comes. Then we transition into Facebook. Then I kind of see like, okay, him and Zach are rapping. Now, guess that Zach is Yayo's big cousin, and I don't know this at the time, but me, I always thought like, man, it's dope. We got rappers from our city. That was the first thing I thought of when I seen that Chuckie and Zach was rapping. But mind you, I still don't know that's Chuckie. I don't know that Get Money Lil Ronnie is Chuckie because he looked totally different when we was kids. So transition, boom. My dad, who isn't with my mom anymore at this point. I go to my dad's house and he's got his lady, and her name is Mama Frida. And she said, you buddy, you know my son Chuckie, right? And I'm like, your son is Chuckie? Like, yeah, man, I haven't seen Chuckie in a long time, man. How's he doing? She like, oh, he good, you know, he rapping and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But he's not there. I don't see him. So the next time I come back, Chuckie is there. So mind you, Get Money Lil Ronnie, I still don't know that Get Money Lil Ronnie and Chuckie is the same person. I don't know this yet. I walk in and he's sitting there, and I remember what bro got on. He got on a white tee. He's got on, I think, the red threes, some red like shorts. There was these like kind of sweat shorts that people used to wear. And if you know Chuckie, bro used to sag, like bro sag was different. And he's sitting on the couch or on the little recliner or whatnot. And I walk in and I look at him and he's like, Carl, what's up with it? Boy, I ain't seen you in a minute. Boy, you done got big. And so I said, oh, I'm like, bro, you Get Money Lil Ronnie? And he was like, yeah. She said, yeah, I told you you know Chuckie. And I'm like, bro, you Chuckie from Holland Hills? He like, yeah, fool, we used to hoop. I'm like, whoa, bro. So that was crazy. So then I put two and two together because I will always see Get Money Lil Ronnie, but through the screen, because he's at this point he's the biggest rapper in Fort Worth. And I'm like, damn, I knew that was you, bro, but you look different. And so we talked for a little bit or whatnot. And I remember he's got Zach outside waiting, and he was like, I said, yeah, I pretty much tell him like, yeah, bro, I love what you and Zach doing, bro. Like, y'all hard, keep going. So he like, yeah, Zach outside, fool. He take me out there, like, Zach, I see Zach, shake Zach hand or whatnot. Now, it's just crazy how mixed up Fort Worth is. I already knew Zach because one of my partners, his pops, it's a long story, but Zach got a brother named Brent, and he got a kid with one of my partner's stepsisters, let's say. So Brent used to like cut our hair, all kind of stuff. So I already knew Zach. So even when we would be out hooping and stuff, Zach used to hoop and will fight you over a foul call, all that kind of stuff. But okay, cool. So now I know who Chuckie is. Okay, boom. I know Chuckie and Get Money Lil Ronnie is the same person. I know his mom is with my dad. Okay, cool. So I ended up moving in with my dad, right? And around that time, Chuckie, moves there too. So now it's to the point where we kind of together like every day, like not necessarily because like I worked and stuff like that. So I would go to work, but like, we be at the house, you know what I'm saying? And we smoking. He'll have me, hey man, take me around the corner of my partner's house, or whatever the case may be. So that's when we kind of, you know what I'm saying, we kind of lock in, like, okay, this is, you know, now he like family. Like now when there's things at my grandma's house, which is my dad's mom, him and his mom are there. So like a lot of my cousins and stuff know him too, because he's be at my granny house, or has been at my granny house for Christmas, Thanksgiving, all of that kind of stuff. So, okay, let's fast forward. So this is about 2014. I started doing mixtape artwork, and he rapped, so I would do little covers for him here and there. My pops ended up going to the feds. So when y'all hear me say like that's like my stepbrother, that's because my dad was with his mom. Like I said, once again, his mom, we all call her Mama Frida, her, me, my siblings, everybody. My dad is like his dad. I'm not saying my dad is his dad for anybody that want to do confusions, but he called my pops. And as recent as not even a month ago. So anyway, we fast forward. We go to, it's so weird, bro, because I happened to be an exit down, and he called me out the blue one time, and I'm like, he said, hey Carl, where you at? And I say, oh, I'm right here on James and Crowley. Me and my girl, who's my wife now, she was my girl at the time, we was at if you from Fort Worth, there's a Chinese spot like inside the restaurant, not the restaurant, inside the gas station on James and Crowley. So I was right there. He said, hey bro, meet me at the barbershop on McCart right here. I'm like, okay. Now mind you, Chuckie ain't never really just called me to like meet him nowhere. Like, especially at this point, my pops had already been in the feds for maybe a year or two at this point. You know, his mama is still my stepmom at this point. Like, she's still at our family gatherings. She's still there. She's still around. So it's even before that though, is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Like, I've always known him, but once I found out that, okay, we something like step siblings or whatever, then it was just like that. But anyway, he never really called me before. So I'm like, what's up, bro? You good? He said, yeah, fool, I want to show you something. So he was like, see if your girl will drop you off, I'll take you home. So I'm really like, okay, cool, whatever. I'll pull up on him. So anyway, Chuckie with Trail from the South Side. And Trail, here's another way that every Fort Worth is connected. Trail, this same partner of mine whose step sibling got the baby with Brent, one of his big brothers was DSG. So Trail, I had already knew Trail, been around Trail, because my partner, that's his brother. So Trail and his brother were like this at one point. So I had already knew Trail, been around Trail. I'm like, oh shit, what's up, Trail? And he like, man, what's up? And I remember Chuckie would always, when I would know people already that he would be like around us, he'd be like, man, how you know him? Because he know that I'm not a street dude. I'm not in the mix. So he would always kind of get a kick out of like what you, like, how you know Carl, or how you know him, you know what I'm saying? So he kind of, that was the first time he did it. He like, what, how you know Trail? So then I broke it down to him, and he like, oh, okay. Anyway, first of all, we pull up to a location in Holland Hills, like right on Oak Grove, right about off the freeway, which became like a real hot location, a real popular location. And Chuckie, he took me to the trunk of Trail car, and he opened it up, and he pulled out, like, y'all know what a Cricut device is that cuts out the vinyl and stuff like that. People make shirts with it. He had a big industrial one, a huge one. Not he didn't have a Cricut. He had one of them. And he said he took the keys out his pocket, opened up. This is a business door. This is a business location. This ain't a house. This ain't a spot. This is a business location. He opened up the door. He took it in. So I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. He know that I'm a technical person, so he need help setting it up. So I'm like, okay, cool. Cause the whole time I'm like, bro, what is this about? Like, why why was it so urgent for me to come pull up on you? So anyway, Trail ended up leaving. So now I'm really thinking like, bro, how am I gonna get home? Even though I just live in one exit down in Forest Hill, I'm still like, man, how am I gonna get home? And I knew if nothing else, I could call my girl and tell her, hey, come get me. I'm right here on Oak Grove. But either way, he's like, look, I'm finna open up a t-shirt shop here. You do graphics. You gonna be my computer guy. You gonna be you gonna design the shirts, press them up, do this, and I'll pay you weekly. And mind you, I don't have a job, nothing at this point. I'm just freelancing. So I'm like, yeah, bet, let's do it. And bro, Chuckie is at this point the biggest rapper in the city that we got. Twisted Black is in the feds. So is amongst my age group, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? And once again, he's something like my stepbrother. So I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, let's do it. So I remember having this conversation with him too, because he had kind of took a break from rapping. And all he's talking about is this Go Yayo dude. And mind you, before Go Yayo got out of prison and became Go Yayo, at least in my eyes, he was just a little Southside. That's all. So I can remember him DMing me for some artwork one time. And one thing about Yayo, he's always been the same person. So whether he was Yayo or not, he's talking to me like he's the biggest shit ever. Like you should want to do my artwork because I'm me. And so I remember thinking like, man, who is this little dude? I'm not even like, man, this little dude tripping, bro. Like, who do you think he is? And so, boom, but he's in jail at this time. So he keep telling me about this little dude. And I'm like, bruh, why are you pretty much shelving yourself to push him? Chuckie seen something that a lot of people didn't see, bro. In Yayo, I didn't see it. I thought it was the craziest thing ever, and he pretty much explained to me. He was like, bro, my youngin is hard. I'm a visual person, meaning when I have conversations, whether I'm driving or walking, whatever, I remember where I was. So you got the location, then there's a Valero right on the corner of 20 and Oak Grove. We're walking back across the street from the Valero, but we walk down kind of to that first street. I believe that street is Witten or something like that. I don't know. But we walking kind of across the street while we having this conversation. And he's pretty much telling me like, bro, he the future, bro. Like, and then he's like, mind you, me and him are only, this is 2014, 15 type time. So me and him are only 24, 25. But he's already like he a youngin', bro. Rap is a young man sport, bro. Like he gon' take us to the Super Bowl. So he like Carl, he's like that's like you asking me why am I passing the ball to LeBron James. Like that's what he's seen. Boom. We have the shop going crazy. If I'm not gonna speak on too much about what was going on at the shop other than t-shirt making. And what was dope to me is that, bro, him and Shaman paid me weekly, like straight up. Like Shaman sometimes out of her pocket, because Shaman gonna get some money, bro. Out of her pocket would pay me because I don't want to interrupt what they got going on over there. So she like, here, I'll just get it back from him or whatever the case may be. So that was that time. So then Yayo gets out. But before Yayo gets out, I start because he got the spot going. I meet Greg. I meet just pretty much the whole Hood Fame camp. The people that I didn't know prior. Coon Pappy. There was a lot of people that I end up meeting around that time, bro. And like Coon Pappy, bro, one thing that he told me, I remember, because I used to bring my game up there. I play my video game and be on the computer at the same time. And I remember it was a late night while I'm waiting on my girl to come pick me up after everybody then left. And Coon Pappy we was just talking about just squares, like people that squares versus people that street. And he said, bro, you know what I respect about you, Carl? That you be yourself. Like it would be easy for you to be up around all us street and try to act like that's what you are, but you be you yourself, bro. Like, and he said, I respect that more than somebody who we know ain't like that and get around us and try to be that. So that's one thing that always stood out to me anyway. So boom, Yayo get out, Hood Fame start taking off. If you know me personally, you know why I kind of start being like, okay, yeah, this ain't the life for me, because one thing about them boys is that it's really like that with them. So I started to realize this ain't for me. Like, and so, I kind of just stopped coming around. and Hood Fame Hood Fame just ascended. I did the logo for Hood Fame. That's one of my graphic achievements, honestly, because it's one of the most recognizable logos in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. When you see that Hood Fame with that world behind it, which Yayo personally was like, I want that, and then I want that globe behind it, but like the outline of a globe, not an actual globe. Then that's one of my achievements. But anyway, Hood Fame just started kind of taking off, and I'm not coming around, but I would run into Hood Fame members. Still see Chuckie, like, once again at my granny's house or wherever that's the thing with Chuckie, you can really bump into him anywhere, like, and that's why it's sad what happened, because you could really bump into Chuckie at the car wash, doing normal people things, bro. And so another time that he looked at me and was like, man, how you know this person? I was reselling sneakers, and there was some blue threes that came out that he missed. And he was like, man, I need them, bro. Pull up on me over here at this spot. So I go to this spot, he there, Lil No Side there, Crisscross there, Greg, some old people. And I see Crisscross, and Cross like, man, what's up, boy? Da, 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 da. I'm like, what's up, man? And so Chuckie, once again, just like, man, how the hell you know Carl, bro? And Crisscross was like, boy, this was my nigga. South Hills. Now, this was my boy at South Hills. And so I'm like, I told you, but I had already told Chuckie, like, yeah, I know Crisscross. I went to high school with him, bro. He cool. That was my boy. So that was just another time. So this is probably 2022, something like that. Maybe 2022. And would always keep in contact with him when I started this channel. He was willing to give me an interview, but I felt like I needed to build my platform more, because, like, I told him, like, bro, you're not like no little rapper, bro. Like, and not to say nobody on my platform is little, but at the time that he was like, yeah, I'll do it, I was just like, man, and I still got the message. I'm like, man, let me build my shit up first, bro, because I felt like, bro, you deserve that. Like, you deserve my platform to be big. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it was. So to fast forward to yesterday, man. Oh yeah, okay. My pops get out of the feds maybe 2 years ago or whatnot, and he telling me like, hey man, like Chuckie pulling up on my pops, giving him money. My pops had been gone for a minute. So my pops is really like, oh, Chuckie, like he big out here, ain't he? I'm like, yeah, Chuckie, Yayo, all of them, they legit, like they real rappers now, like, you know what I mean? And so he was like, yeah, man, I'm proud of him, like, you know what I'm saying? And every now and again when I talk to my pops, I would ask him like, hey, you seen Chuckie? And he's like, yeah, man, Chuckie was just over here yesterday, and all of that type of stuff, because Chuckie would just stop by and go holler at my pops, man. And he told me about a conversation where, he told him like, man, you the only pops, you know what I'm saying, you the only pops I didn't really know, man. And my pops appreciated that, because he always liked Chuckie, man. So fast forward to yesterday, there's a gym right across the freeway, because I'm from Forest Hill, so that car wash is fairly new. There's a gym right across the freeway that I go play basketball at, and I shot my 200 shots. I ran on the treadmill, and I ran out of Irish Spring soap yesterday morning. So there's a Family Dollar right across the street. I go to Family Dollar, get my soap, come off of Forest Hill Drive, hit the left. At this point, I see police arriving there and yellow taping it off. But if you know anything about Forest Hill, here this year it's been a lot of unalivings in Forest Hill, so I'm not thinking nothing of it. But something don't feel right as I pass by that scene. I can't say that. Something don't feel right, but I'm like, okay. I get home, I'm working on another piece of content actually, and my big bro, the one who was close with Trail, I'm sure he don't care if I drop his name. Shout out Big Chaz, it's my big bro. He called me, but I'm doing work on the computer, so in my mind I'm like, bro, I'm gonna call you right back. I'm gonna call him right back once I finish this. So immediately after that, my sister texts me. My sister's like, bro. And I'm like, what's wrong? And she said, man, they Chuckie. And I instantly, boom, knew. I'm like, damn. I'm like, at the car wash in Forest Hill? She's like, yeah, how you know? I just passed that. And originally, I don't know that it's as bad as it really is. I don't know that. So instantly, I kind of just like, what the, like, bro, who would want to do something to Chuckie? Like, you know, but then I live in Fort Worth. I know what's going on. So I instantly stopped thinking that way. But I'm like, man, what the hell, bro? I instantly think of Mama Frida, who's not here no more. Mind you, he lost his mother in a car wreck, I think last year or the year before. So, no, it wasn't last year for sure, but maybe a year, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But mind you, he lost his mother, but that was the first person I thought about, because I'm like, damn, bro, Mama Frida would be devastated if she was here. So that was my first thought. And then I'm just like, damn. So now I'm reading more and kind of learning like, yo, and I learned that his baby was taken in this tragic incident too. And then it really started to hit home, because I'm like, dang, bro. So then the videos come out and they talk about, they're like, yeah, somebody recorded. First off, I think with the Wendy girl, I think that she pretty much was in shock. I seen a lot of people calling for her to be a suspect, but I think it's misplaced frustration. I mean, it sucks, but I think that, you know, she was in shock, and that's just what it was. But so the video came out, bro, and it would just show bro laid out. People say that the baby isn't, but I really can't see it or whatnot, and I can't even look at it for too long. And it started to make you think, like, did they target a baby because he's over here? So how do you know? But that's also assuming that they came up from like Forest Hill Drive. Like, y'all gotta really know, and I might show y'all just so it hit home. Cause y'all gotta know, a lot of y'all not from Fort Worth that's speaking on it, so y'all don't know. But that's assuming, like me, I'm assuming based on the way the girl's recording that's how it happened. So I'm like, he's here, the baby's here. That means you had to attack both of them. But a video later came out that appears to be from the car wash, and it kind of shows the baby. I mean, it kind of shows the suspects coming around the building, ambushing him from this way. And so it's likely that's when the baby got hit, and you see him, he kind of tries to take the heat off of the baby, but also at the same time try to come back for her at the same time. So that's pretty much what it is. But this makes me think about narratives around the video. So first off, I see people saying like, oh, he ran off on his baby. No, he tried to take the heat off of his baby. He knew what was going on once he seen him and took off, just like any of us would have done. I think the problem is y'all too gangster, bro, and y'all be too comfortable speaking on what you would have did and what you could have. Like y'all, bro, 99% of people would have shot out just like he did, bro. And so a lot of y'all wouldn't have had the heart to do what he did and come back. Because I asked myself, as somebody who's hurt by the situation, bro, why you didn't just keep running? Why you come back? But I remember because my kid's in the car, bro. And so that's number one. Also, the only narrative that I've seen that was made up on the internet that kind of makes sense to me is, if you see the video, and I'm not gonna show the video, there's a car backed up in one stall of the thing, and this car supposedly was there the whole time. And Fort Worth is, now here's the thing, Fort Worth is small, but it ain't. So, and then when you realize where they came up from, unless they were coming down Forest Hill Drive, seen bro, and was like, all right, we finna come around this way. And then because if they would have came in on the Forest Hill Drive entrance, he would have maybe, if he was vacuuming, he wouldn't have spotted them, but he would have, they would have been behind him. He would have, I feel like, got more of a warning, because you're pulling in on the same side. But I don't think he realized like what was happening. So I think somebody in that black car gave his drop. If that's not true, then the only thing that's logical that could have happened is that they're coming to Forest Hill Drive. They see him at the car wash on this side. They go around to the service road in 20, and then they come back that way, and then boom, come around the building that way to catch him. That's the only way. This is the definition of you messed the city up with this one, bro. I don't think nobody's seen it coming. I think everybody is shocked, bro. And I think that, you know, whether it was a drop given or not, because one thing I can say is that there's Forest Hill is once again right next door to Highland Hills from Forest Hill. I don't think there's a lot of people who are just gonna spot Chuckie from Forest Hill and be like, oh, it's a op. That's why I just feel like a drop was given, but that's just me, and that's just me. But either way, it came out last night that Forest Hill PD does have 2 suspects. They have the name of a suspect, and they have a suspect's name. And for the first time ever in my life, I actually hope that these gentlemen pay for what they done. I'm gonna just say that. I hope they pay for what they done, because once again, man, it's enough that you did something to him. It would still hurt if you did something to him, but the baby is like, bro, it's tough, bro. I think we about to get the best version of Go Yayo now, bro. I think we about to get the best version of him, and I think that all of us, like me, Half Pint, anybody who do anything, when I say anything, I mean like got something like this going on, I think we gotta all do our part to keep bro name alive, because he dedicated his life to rap, and he did this before anybody knew that it was a possibility. So man, rest in peace to Chuckie, bro. Rest in peace, G Lil Ronnie. Rest in peace to the baby. Once again, Shaman, bro, in my prayers. His oldest daughter, Yanni, you're in my prayers. And yeah, bro, if anything, this situation has taught me to not speak on shit just because I have a few little things said on the internet, because y'all running crazy with these narratives. So thank y'all, I'm out.